So we have here the living room. And is this like, a room in someone's house, or is it a living room?
Oh, that is a good question.
I think it's a room in a house, right?
I think so.
Okay, so it's not a room that's alive.
No. It's just kind of the vibe. The songs came from like couch songs, so it was kind of like, songs written on the couch, living room vibe, something like that.
All right, so introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
I am Eric Witkowski. I play guitar and sing.
Nia Shea, I sing.
Frank Ashcraft, I played keys and percussion.
I'm Justin Pelini, I play drums.
I'm Pete, I play guitar.
Greg Wilcox, bass.
Yeah, and how long has this been a thing?
Since
Our COVID.
Yeah, our first show was
booked for April Fool's Day of 2020.
And it was the first night that the Bug Jar closed for COVID. So we had been together for maybe like 5 months before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we really were fools too. It would have been perfect.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Would have been a good first day.
All would have got COVID. I think we wound up getting COVID anyway. Some of us did. But yeah, it's been around for quite some time. Had a little hiatus while COVID happened. I think we didn't get together for. Well, we recorded an album during COVID though.
Yeah.
But then we just
was that the EP?
Yeah.
That was the EP. Yeah.
Okay. And where did you record that?
At
Wicked
Squid in Rochester.
Okay. And you have a new one coming out.
We do.
When is that going up?
Greg?
So the first single, 11 O'Clock is when the drug kicks in, is out now. And there's 2 more singles. One's coming out July 21st, and then the other one August 4th. And then the full album's out everywhere August 25th.
Okay. And there's a little bit of a sound progression between the first EP and the album.
Definitely. Well, we definitely leaned into... Okay, so that first EP, again, we had our first show booked at Bug Jar. We had just been playing leading up to COVID for a couple months, and so the songs were still pretty fresh. And then COVID hit, and I booked the studio time just so we wouldn't forget those songs, because I knew we weren't going to see each other for a while. So it was kind of like everything was fresh. It was all written on the acoustic guitar, crap like that, So by the time the new album songs came around, and the songs since the new album have come around, we definitely we all are deaf and like to play loud, so it kind of just has progressively gotten bigger and a little different.
I also think like with the EP, because they had the whole COVID regulations, I don't even think we were all going in the studio at the same time.
We did it all separately,
Yeah.
and then when we recorded the new one, we did mostly playing together live, right? Like almost all of it.
At least for the scratch tracks.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay. Has this been the lineup the whole time? Like, did this come fully formed, or did you slowly add people to the band? Who formed it?
I put it together.
Okay.
I've played in other bands with Greg for years, and then the other member who is not here right now, Amber McAllister on saxophone and accordion, is my partner. So she was kind of like taking part in all these songs, and we had the idea to, some of the songs I had for years that was just like late night drunk sitting on a couch songs that I wrote for myself, and I didn't really have an outlet for them because the bands that I played in at the time weren't really those type of songs. So I don't know, it finally just kind of came about, and we knew all these people. Pete I didn't really know that well, but he was an awesome guitar player in an awesome band. Why am I forgetting the name?
Slang.
New City Slang. Shout out Harlow and Colin Ramirez. But yeah, no, I was just like, dude, that guy's really good. Like, I just wanted him.
That was a cool band. That was a really cool Rochester band too.
Yeah.
So how did it come? Because we were playing in, Eric and I and Darren, who's the original drummer, we're playing in a band, Jan the Actress, and then after that kind of folded. Jan the Actress. Oh, Jan the Actress.
Right.
And then Jay Moon started playing with us in whatever was becoming Jan the Actress. And then we changed names, and that became its whole new thing. And offshoot of that, Eric started the living room. And I typically played bass, and I shifted over to keys. During COVID, I started learning that. And it just started growing into like a full 7-piece thing. I don't even know if that was like... I feel like you wanted to go bigger than that too, throwing in horns and all that, but...
Yeah.
I first heard about it me and Eric were in Pink Elephant together at the time, and that shortly before it wrapped up, and he was talking about doing some kind of noise project with Frank, and I was like, okay, and I was in another band at the time that I was singing leads in and really enjoying the Good Lords, and I was like, yeah, all right, dude. And then at one point, Eric was like, he wanted me to join that project as a second bass player. And he's like, bass gonna be like Frank's gonna be doing some wild, weird bass shit, and like you could, and I'm like, all right, like so, like kind of like Spinal Tap ish. And then the next time I heard about it, it was like, yeah, it's like these fucking couchy songs, and like we had like, some of these other band members lined up, and yeah, it's totally nothing like that now, but yeah, that was what I first started to hear about it.
And then you were asking about members. So Jay started with us, and he was around for a while and shifted off to pursue other things. And then we had Darren come in, who was from Jay and the Actress, was playing with us for a while, and he shifted off. And then Justin, who Eric and I have been playing with in a bunch of other offshoots. I think Justin has filled in Rochester. All the drummers are very incestuous, but Justin and I played in a few bands together.
Yeah.
And we asked him to hop in, and
Here I am.
Here he is.
Yeah.
All right. So how does the songwriting go at this point? I know obviously you did a lot of it originally, but what about now?
I mean, like I write the initial songs and then I just bring it to everyone and they kind of, put their spins on it, parts into it, like whatever. I don't write anyone else's stuff. I just write the bare bones song and then trust that everyone else will do their thing that they do.
What about lyrics?
I write them.
And inspiration for that? Has it changed?
Honestly, at this point, it's kind of gotten weird in my life where like I've had certain themes that I always write about, like riverbanks and dead bodies, and I don't know. And at this point, bones, leaves,
grass,
and like it's kind of gotten to a point where like I'll get an idea for a song like musically. It's very seldom starts with lyrics, and I kind of like plug in those themes. To the point where sometimes people are like, dude, are you alright? And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is what I like write about. I don't know. Yeah, so.
You have kind of a folky goth sound.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, and Eric definitely comes up with the bones, but everybody has a hand, and it's very receptive. Everybody takes part in providing feedback on what people come up with, and we all collectively write the music or the instrumentation and the vocals and everything together, and it just kind of organically grows in our practices when Eric brings up the new tunes.
Now, you said one of the new songs you played today isn't like that on the album.
Right. We played a much faster version of this one song on the album, and then after it was on the album, we listened to it some, we were all kind of like, I don't love this one track.
We never wanted to play it live.
Yes.
Every time we would put a set list together, we'd be like, I hate
Yeah,
playing this one.
right.
We like it on the album, but it's like it wasn't working.
So during COVID, we started doing this thing where like just me and Greg and Pete and Eric would get together and do like we were trying to come up with like a smaller version of the band that we were calling the Kitchenette for like if we like to go to like a coffee shop or like just do smaller just to play out more acoustic versions of the song. And I think that's when we tried to slow it. Like I feel like we changed it there, and then we were like, hey, we maybe cracked it. I don't know. We did so many things. We like changed the key. We changed everything about it like 7 times, and like nothing worked. And then we just slowed it way down, and then it was
right.
But it's like I don't know. It's so much faster. It's like unrecognizable. It doesn't sound anything like.
Yeah, the album's super fast. Yeah.
What was the description you guys gave me at first? Was it
Sad Sex Murder Lounge?
Yeah.
Sad Sex Lounge music.
Have you found yourself having trouble finding other bands to play with?
No. I mean, I don't think there's exactly another band exactly doing what we're doing, but there's stuff that like is relatable.
Okay.
All
right.
I mean, the old folks retirement home, that was a bad idea. I take that one back.
Did you really do that?
No.
Because that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, you gotta, out of seeing like kind of that, where we're all from, it's like you gotta try things out and see what works. I think we've had a couple where, it's like maybe like, okay, maybe the audiences of, the bands that are on the same bill aren't, might not be that likely to like the other bands. But we've had a lot that are like real simpatico and kind of, it's like, 2 or 3 or 4 bands where it's all, it's like cohesive. It feels like, fans of one band are like buying merch from the other bands and stuff like that. So, it's a cool situation when you can get that going. Yeah.
Have you played a bunch of shows?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what a bunch is, but 40 maybe, I don't know.
40
shows?
That's a decent amount.
40 shows?
You think
Is
it's
that
that
for
many?
real?
That's an estimate. I don't know.
Could be. I don't. We played a
That
lot.
might be a little high. I'd say
So
30,
all
33.
Of these, so all of
33
these shows are all of the ones I've ever done ever. So I feel like
Right.
it's not. I don't know if it's that many.
Well, maybe it's
40
17.
sounds.
I don't
But
know.
maybe yeah, it's like in that. It's in that ballpark.
I mean, since I joined, how many has it been? 7?
5?
5?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a few.
Yeah.
Well, I take it all back. It's been.
You're right. It's not
It's
what I
40.
said.
We'll call it 40.
We could play more, but like Rochester, like most small cities, I assume it's like you can like overexpose yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know. So now we've been like kind of focusing on like booking some stuff in other cities and.
Yeah, how
stuff
far
like
out
that.
have you gotten?
Oh, we have.
Ithaca.
That's as far as we've gotten so far.
Ithaca's the only
And
one
we're
we've
playing in
done so
Buffalo
far.
in a couple weeks, but
Yeah.
then
22nd in Buffalo, right?
yes, in March of 2024 we're playing Pittsburgh and Buffalo. So at that point, Pittsburgh will be our furthest out.
Yeah, and in the scene we're in Rochester, typically a lot of people will play, the bar circuit on Monroe.
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of started, and I'd say even within Rochester, we're starting to expand our horizons and play venues we haven't played before or are outside of where we would normally play in our other bands. So
Right.
we played Johnny's Irish Pub, which is...
That was fun.
it was a great show.
I loved that.
But it's not one that I would have been like, hey, let's go play that show. But this band kind of allows us to step out of the normal, Monroe Ave
Right.
bar scene, where a lot of our previous bands...
Also, it helped that she just guaranteed us like $500.
Well,
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
but we played Abilene, which
Yes.
was a really big one for us, because that's, Danny's a great person, and the whole scene there is great. And, I think it opened up the doors, starting to play these different venues for us to go and start branching out and playing further destinations, which I think we're still trying to feel out how far we want to go.
Right.
What's been your favorite show so far?
Favorite show?
I really loved playing at Little Shop of Hoarders
That was a fun one.
because it was like a really small, weird room, and that artist.
That
all
was
the light
cool.
show
JP
stuff.
Grunts.
And a lot of
GP.
people came. It was it was like a very small show, but it was a lot of like.
Yeah.
What is that? Little Shop of Hoarders?
It's a boutique thrift store,
Yeah.
but they
Okay.
have a space in the back. It's like DIY stuff. you know?
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
that was fun.
In terms of larger venues,
Yeah, they have a lot of cool shows there. That was a really fun one.
I
Also,
mean,
the Halloween one.
our Halloween show at
Oh,
Bug Jar
yeah.
was excellent.
That was a dope.
That was
time.
fun.
We all, we dressed up a bit in some morbid vibes, and that was fun. It was fun.
The Johnny show was fun too, because it was just the sound there. We had to do the sound ourselves. It was very DIY. We had a buddy of ours that helped us load in. He's like, hey, do you want me to do sound for you? And he just kind of sat there and mixed the sound for us live. And we had a lot more people show up than we expected. I think a lot of people who didn't know what they were getting into, just because they happened to be at the bar, came in, and
Yeah, it was cool.
that was an interesting one too.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that Halloween show kind of matches the vibe that you mentioned, like a gothic folk kind of thing. That's kind of almost like how we dressed at that gig.
We really went for it with that.
It was just a match, like Halloween,
Kind of like
Bug
Southern
Jar,
Gothic.
whatever the hell we're doing.
Dust
Yeah.
Bowl stuff.
I painted my face like a little pale, so it looked like I was dying.
Well, you got that Southern Gothic sound. You got sort of the dark folk sound. You got a little blues mixed in there and stuff. So it's a nice combination of things I haven't heard before. What else do you have coming up? Obviously, you said you had the March of 2023, but what else do you have coming up?
No, I mean, so next thing is the 22nd of this month. We're playing at Revolution Gallery in Buffalo with June Star and Last Night Songs. Last Night Songs is from Buffalo. June Star is from Cleveland. Last Night Sounds is a cool band that really fits kind of what we're doing, but we know the drummer as the front man from another band that Greg and I used to play with, Soul Butchers, who are still a band and kick ass. And then after that, we kind of have a little bit of a break. Like, we don't really have anything going on in August. But then after that, we have like a recording thing going on at U of R, and we're playing that place, the Barn, out in like Fulton.
In October, yeah.
Yeah, and then October we also have a Lux gig.
That's always fun.
Playing Lux is always good.
You make
That's
a ton of
also
money.
going back to some of the favorite shows. We played there a couple times. And
Where's Lux?
it's on South Ave in Rochester.
Okay.
666 South Ave. So
yeah.
the whole devil theme and everything.
Nice. Was that another club at some point?
Yeah, it was. It used to be. I can't think of it.
I can't
Lux
remember what
as
it's
long
called.
as I know.
No,
No,
but
it-
it was something else before that.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
been Lux has been there for like 15 years. Something like that.
Yeah, and then in August, like we mentioned, we got that album launch coming out, and as part of that, we're also launching our first NFT collection, which is going to be really cool. That's dropping the first one this Friday. That's going to be on the AVIX blockchain, and so that's a collection that's going to contain the music and the album artwork, but also custom artwork created by band members. And actually invocation ritual spells that have been created specific for each song. The album's called Small Dark Things, and the NFT collection is called Small Dark Invocations, and
Nice.
it actually comes with an occult ritual that you can perform before you listen to the song to kind of build the mood and enhance the experience and everything like that. So, and that's a first in the NFT world, that there's actually going to be occult ritual instructions that are part of the NFT. So yeah, that's we're going to be dropping one every week for the next 12 weeks, starting next week and building up to the album launch. So that's
Really awesome. And where can people find everything?
So we are at the Living Room Rock, ROC. So our website is thelivingroomrock.com, and then for all our social media, it's the Living Room Rock ROC. If you sign up for our newsletter, that's you can just scroll down to the bottom of our website. We're also going to be doing deals and stuff like that when the album's out, and when we get the new vinyl for that. And of course, keep you up to date with new shows and stuff like that.
I was going to say, you're putting it out on vinyl.
We sure are, yeah. Yes, we are in the production queue for that. I expect it closer to the end of the year.
Okay, all right.
Is it going to be that quick this time?
Well, time will tell. We'll see.
We pressed the first album.
But
on
the
vinyl, and that
first
took
the
a
first
year
one
and a
was
half.
in the production queue for over a year.
Yeah.
That's after we had signed off on the test pressings and
Yeah.
everything.
That was crazy.
Because
I forgot about that.
during COVID,
COVID, yeah, everything got
every
backed
band
up.
in the world was
Oh,
recording, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's how it was.
And all the vinyl places had been shut down years ago, so now they're
Yeah.
slowly reopening.
Some places were like, we're not taking new customers right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything else people should know?
Our music is really good.
I would agree. Your music is very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out and playing.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having
us.
us.